What's up YouTube? Nakashima here, finally here to bring you my art of guild battles, Ninja Edition. Not that there were any old editions, but for those that want to know the gimmicks of Ninja, here you go. Don't have any attacks, your support and disruption, and that is it. So in my normal strat, you will be replacing the front liners, lancers, and archers that use neck press, lion form, and dissonance. Now, before we get into the strategy, we need to adjust your mindset so you implement it properly. Because some of you probably think that they understand how to play the metagame. Just putting in some people with negative pressure and cheering on the field doesn't make you good, even if you think you are, just because you are beating inactive, high GS guilds or people with no strategies. So you will need actions beyond simple negative pressure, such as uni-gain prevention, disruption, prevention of death, prevention of other meta strategies, and you will have to use such strategies faster than the opponent if you're in a mirror match. Because if you don't, you will lose the game depending on who throws the first uni. Now, first, we go to builds. Now, the only useful classes in guild battles are as follows. If you play something else, become a disruptor because you're not useful. I am sorry, but this is how the metagame works. If you're not needed, you're not needed. You're just a hindrance to the plan, and you're slow things down. That's it, really. So, let's go. Lancers, rooks, soldiers, treasure hunters, ninjas, and to an extent, mage and archer. Just to an extent. I honestly wouldn't use those, but well, I would, but they're better. There's better. So the front line, as in my front line and your front line and back line are totally different, but it works. Okay. My front line is what's out during the beginning. 2 ninjas, a rook, treasure hunter, and soldier. Backline. I say this, but no one's actually swapping except for the ninjas. 2 lancers or mages, depending on what you have. A rook, treasure hunter, and soldier. Not much different. For me, anyway. So, for me, the rook, treasure hunter, and soldier don't really need to switch. But that's my kind of thing. I forgot to do something. There we go. Alright. Frontline needs to be a tanky bunch. You have to have good gear sets, such as things. Here's my gear allotment sheet on how to build and what gears are most viable to equip. You easily want to main slot nulls or DD XXLs with 2 opening concentrations to increase your proc rate, stellar armor to decrease damage even more, and opening res and ward to survive, as well as more chances to gain uni and to be able to throw them. Now, Unifill is equivalent to the percentage of HP lost, so res really helps out with that. If you die, you gotta resurrect anyway, and if you are about to die again, ward will activate, immediately throw uni before you get shot it out of there. And if you can wear Grandia armor, wear it. If you're not a class that can wear it, I guess you can always also put another really good proc gear, which is also viable. You know, another DDXL or something. Or no. Now, 2 opening concentrations will take up your opening defense skills. Your opening res and ward will take your 2 other opening skills. The 2 stellar armors will take your 2 defense constant skills. Now, you don't need it unless you plan on using the one-shot strat, as in everyone targets one person, and hopefully you one-shot them. In that case, you will also be using opening attacks and attack constants. You won't need them though, unless you're trying to do that, and you need to be fully capable of knowing you can one-shot. But if you know that they have ward, res, and all the other stuff as you, probably try to target the weakest person, alright? sure it might be a good idea to target the strong people, but anyway. Now, these are the most viable for each class that I mentioned previously. Lancers are a backline type negative pressure user if you fail to destroy the crystal. Only if you play frontline Lancer do you need disturbance such as line formation. However, I swapped those frontline Lancers out for ninjas. Lancers are your main source of DPS against the crystal, or if you play mages. However, I dislike using the Miserable Burst combo as a neck press use, as I find it kind of clunky. As mentioned previously, neck press uses if the crystal is not destroyed in the one shot, in your one crystal assault. Now, if you decide to play Archer, you are frontline that will replace one of the ninjas if you don't have any ninjas. You are just there to apply dissonance and to use beautiful nature to remove any despair cast on your team and to give cost, because you don't want anyone disturbing your unigame. Now, ninjas, the biggest game disturbance ever. They are really squishy though. If you have 2 on the field, that is a big troll. You can make mages deal less damage with your smoke bomb and give invulnerability to magical damage at 30% chance. That's already like a giant mage debuff. I guess, I don't know if Starburst will probably go through that, probably does, but it does reduce magical damage by 30. So that's also pretty good. With a small chance of blind, which even makes Starburst even worse if you blind the mages. So it's a good first, second throw. And if there are 2 ninjas, stagger it so it lasts a little longer. You will also cheer and ether exchange before you ninjutsu sign to swap over to your ninjutsu skills. Because you used ether exchange, though, you will basically be a taunt, because ninjas already have low HP and are squishy as heck. However, people who play ninja should have some of the best defensive procs. If you decide to play ninja, you better have one of the best defensive procs, openings, constants, and as mentioned before, allowing you to survive assaults. So you can uni and basically help out your team or disturb the enemy even more. In ninjutsu mode, why do I keep on feeling it? In ninjutsu mode, you are the biggest pain in the ass, however. Depending on the situation, Heat Haze Technique, Spiritualism Toad, Spiritualism Serpent, Master Fetch are the most viable abilities. High cost, however, you can either steal 15 cost from 3 people, making it difficult for the enemy to one-shot an ally. And if you can't use skills, they don't gain, and if they can't use skills, they don't gain uni as fast either. Or lower their uni gauge and cast Despair to reverse their uni gain. Or slow their uni gain speed with an ailment resistance down. Mash refresh only if necessary. Unlike everyone else, you will carry only disturbance or uni gain beneficial monsters for your team. Because you are taunted, because you have low health and are squishy, as long as you survive an onslaught, you will most likely have uni at 100% already. Get your team to 100 uni or slow down the opponent depending on what unis you use. Harunia, UV are all good options. After you uni, you aren't needed anymore. Immediately swap out after pressing the uni button with a Lancer or Mage as long as they are online. As Unison down users, you have to pay attention to where enemies could use Imperial territory or extend Unison. Because they will most likely protect their Lancers and Mages. Because they will be vulnerable. Because when you use it, of course, the attack frames, you're vulnerable to get uni down if you don't panic uni. Which you don't want to panic uni. That's the worst thing in the world. If they don't have this strategy, they most likely aren't ready for a dual Unison down. So if they do have one treasure hunter that uses like extend, or one soldier that uses Imperial Territory, you just counter that by dual necking the exact same side. You have 2 Lancers, or 1 or 2 mages, whatever, it doesn't really matter. If you have 2, you can just get both to neg the same side. Done. They got... Alright. Soldiers are another type of main DPS, but are used to counter neck press users. Get Imperial Territory to a cooldown of +4 the cooldown side +4. A cooldown of 30 to cover your entire team during Crystal Assault. You will, however, have to use Imperial Territory the first few seconds when Crystal Assault begins to get 2 of them off during the wave. Treasure Hunters, you have 3 main reasons, but aren't DPS. Using Shadow Snatch to steal the cost of the biggest threat. Now, if you're using Shadow Snatch, try not to be an attack user, because the more damage you do, the higher the uni gauge will gain. So, if you're using Shadow Snatch, play mostly magic. You don't want to gain their unison that much, but you do want to disrupt them as best as you can. Don't let your teammates get one-shot, so keep the cost of enemies low and cheer. Now, don't worry, you will be assisted by the ninjas later. Now, because after cooldown, after you cheer though, so after you use that, cheer. And after the cooldown of cheer is over, because Shadow Snatch removes cost and recovers your own, you will most likely have 25 cost. Use that to Mind of Clover everyone, as the cooldown of cheer runs out and everyone can cheer again. Now, you gotta make sure you time this correctly, or you won't be getting like the effects of Mind of Clover, because you need to make sure everyone has cheer, the cooldown, out of the way. That way, everyone can cheer the exact time you use Mind of Clover. And also symbols, if you have them. Now, the third reason. You will extend Unison the cooldown path +4 just like soldiers in Crystal Assault mode. Cover the whole team, and that way, if they have 2 Lancers, if the enemy also has 2 Lancers or 2 mages that will try and neck press, and they try to debate you by dual targeting one side, you have that covered. Remember, this is the meta. You will have to prevent any action that can hinder you. And by sending this, like, how-to out, many people are gonna know how to do this. So, you know, protect yourself. Now, you do have to be an active team. Wait, I forgot. Rooks. Okay, do I need to explain what Rooks do? You devoted sacrifice at the round start. You have to devoted sacrifice instantly at round start. Why? Because you need to make sure when people uni that you can uni too. Because when your devoted sacrifice is over, you only have a few frames to know what to uni to use. Now here's the thing. You do have to be an active team of at least 5 to 7 people. Now here's the thing. You can be at least active for 1 guild battle during the day. And I recommend if you are stressed out by doing this and guild battles, just have everyone like accept that we're gonna go all in on first guild battle of the day or third guild battle of the day, and that's the day we will all just be and that's the time we will all be on. All the others you can just ignore. You don't need to stress out yourself so much. This is just the game. This is just the game. You don't need to stress yourself out so much. Just participate in 1 guild battle a day if you need to, and if you'd like winning. Alright? If you coordinate that, then you'll be fine. With this, if your opponent is not prepared, they will panic. But now with this strategy, if your opponent is not prepared, they will panic throw due to your negative pressure. And even if they try to neg you back, you are prepared with your own dual Imperial Territory and dual Extend Unison, while you neg their users instead. And those that panic throw are easily countered, because you will carry all the elements needed. For now though, you can continue to watch the visual presentation in this in action, And thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Good luck out there, and have fun. This is just a game, guys. And see ya. Huh. Now, I could probably also tell other stuff, but I don't know. Huh. You guys can learn what you need, right? This is just like, this is a minor guide of the basic meta. I wonder how much of the video this is, though. Huh. Oh my goodness, this is 15 minutes? Jeez. Nice. Oh boy. Alright, before you do the first wave against the crystal, use your, everyone just use your disruption uni. You don't need that anymore. You're just gonna throw that so you can have, like, your water, wind, and fire, as well as your star special ready. Also, for fire, wind, and water, I also would recommend using like 2 stars in each set, just in case. Just because they are strong. You can see from what I do.